is just politics between, you know, the current governor. This is nothing new. This is something that they usually see between those who've been in office before and their successors, and they don't know why it is that this politics is being. These politicians have chosen to wash their dirty linen in public. Is this really very healthy for those who want to come and participate in politics?
Well, Mauke, I will agree with you entirely. It is not healthy, it is dirty. But unfortunately for most Nigerians, politics is business. Unfortunately for most Nigerians, politics is business. But when they find out that those that they have assisted, because I will call it an assistance, because a lot of people assisted Peter also to be governor. You see, when he's saying this, it looks like he's a superstar. It wasn't anybody. He had no address, politically speaking, in Anambra State. By the time he emerged, nobody knew whom Peter Obi was. Nobody. You know, but he was a good Christian, or so most people believed, until he went into office. So tell me, if he was able to do 8 years without interference from anybody, and he hasn't told a number of people that this chap is incompetent, at least from his mouth, as somebody who sold him, other than the one I'm now hearing from J.J. Martin Suzadike, who was a commissioner under Obiano. Why did he sack them? That was when Peter started plotting. The present candidate Peter had just brought out was secretary to the government, and they were the people, after every executive meeting, they will relate to Peter Obi everything that this young man is doing in government. And he said, no, we can't be running two parties here. That's how he removed all of them.
So, Chief Ulase, in your opinion, the current governor carried on a successive plan to finish up the projects that were led by the previous administration?
Comparatively speaking, I doubt if any governor, past or present, has done, because building of roads is a visual aid. Tell me what is more important than security. When my father died in 2009, all the top people at NEU came with about 20 mobile police. Today in Anambra State, people drive without a mobile police. People attend function. People stop at Amobe to buy corn and coconut and pear to take. It wasn't the fashion in Anambra State. If that is the only success this governor has done, he will go for a third term. I am telling you. Because you people in the press knew what was happening in Anambra. It was kidnapping, armed robbery. There was no other news that we were noted with. And he came and directed his attention into security and achieved it. I think that would have been something Peter Obi should be grateful about.
But you know
that the person he put in was able to do something, you know, wonderful.
I'm sure the concerns of the Anambra people who I know are watching will be that their governor is going into agreements to their detriment. And Chamberlain asked that question. How would that help in infrastructural development and in building the state if you're going to agreements that will not help the people of Anambra State?
Well, let us not say something that as if we're all coming from the moon. When Buhari came out and said that there was a phraseology he used, I'm alone, I'm for nobody, and something. He knew he wasn't being honest because people put him there, people contributed money. If you know the amount of money spent on the day of an election, word to word, you will shudder. That is why good people can't go into politics in this country unless somebody is aiding you. It is tremendous expenditure. Let's not deceive ourselves about it.
But do you think
in America, for instance, they spend their own on TV ads, which people know. It's a whole billions of dollars. Politics is not Hail Mary. It's serious business all over the world.
But is there honor in it?
There is honor in it. That's why people like us haven't profited. I was in PDP for 16 years, and you know that. I was never a board member. But of all the governors in the Northeast, I was the chairman of all the screening panels in PDP. Because they knew when they wanted to do anything honest and serious, they would send me. But they never gave me any appointment, even though there were reasons for that. Obasanjo had to explain to me what happened. But I don't want to go into that.
Well, I know you said the governor is going to go ahead and get third term, if possible. But,
yeah, because of what he has done that is on the ground. What he has done is on the ground. Anambra people have never seen it before. Because all we were used to is people firing guns all over the place. We don't see it today. That is enough for us. That people, nobody tells you, you're a state of armed robbers, a state of kidnappers. At least it has reduced to the barest minimum. You
say you're observing from a distance and you're supporting the government because you think he's doing something good. But at that time, too, the people did support Peter Obi. Do you think that with him coming forward and campaigning for another candidate, isn't that going to be divisive, such that they will split the votes that would have gone for the governor?
You see, nobody like I told you, I spoke with Peter Obi yesterday for almost 10 minutes on telephone. I was coming to the airport to meet this your invitation. And I said, Peter, if you want, let's sit down and talk. And we discussed a lot of things. And I don't want to, let it out like that, but I only told you the one that I think are not serious. Because if I think of what I discussed with him yesterday and what his agent is saying this morning, there's a whole lot of dishonesty. This is why this country is in trouble. And like the German philosopher Goethe said, the world is in trouble, not from the very foolish or from the very wise, but from the half fools and half wise. That is the problem we have in this country. Like somebody was asking me yesterday at AIT, and we are classifying, looking at all the political parties. And somebody mentioned about APC. I said that all of them are very close friends of mine. I said, but the unfortunate thing is that the dancing we are having in Anambra today, we are doing a python dance, which is a very dangerous dance. For a government, in our southeast, for a government to openly say they are sending their army to do a python dance on your children. And I asked that person, until we finish this python dancing, we will know how many people have survived and whom they will vote for.
All right, Chief Olasey, we'll anchor at that point, and we hope that the elections there will go on peacefully without any, hopefully, rancor that cost dearly. Chief Dan Olasey, we appreciate you talking to us this morning.
My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.